Jason was my first best friend, but in the summer of 2001, I was handed a memory I wish never existed. This would forever cement the bond I have with Shane. Few people can understand his daughter's situation, but it went without saying that a small part of me could.
Some of my favorite moments of Tahlia are definitely when she, walked for the first time. That was awesome. Mallory was actually out of town when it happened, but I caught it on film and I sent it to her. And it was just really crazy to see her get up and, stumble those couple steps, and it's a very proud moment for me. Some of my other favorite moments of her, just her playing around with me in the mirror. I know there's one time we were just kind of looking and sticking our tongues out, and she just started laughing hysterically, and she thought it was the funniest thing ever, and we did that for 5 minutes. I don't know how that didn't get old, but it didn't. Tahlia is obviously, as I said, she's a super active, high energy. You basically are gonna get exhausted hanging around with her for a period of time because she has that much energy. She's so loud and fun and happy.
When you go into school, what are you gonna say?
The fun has arrived. Thank you very much.
Have fun, have a thank you very much.
Good job.
Tahlia usually wakes up at 6:30 every morning because, we wake up early to get ready for work, and so we usually wake her up. She did not wake up. I actually had to wake her up at 9 a.m. that Monday morning. And she looked at me and just goes I'm tired, and went right back to sleep. She was probably up tops of 2 hours the entire day, awake, conscious. I've never seen my daughter act this way. She doesn't act as tired. I've seen her sick before with viruses. So I'm this isn't good. Mallory comes home from work. She comes over to T, tries to wake her up. She's like, "Hey, it's mommy." And you know how much Tahlia adores Mallory and gets excited when she sees her, even more so than when she sees me. She looked at Mallory like she didn't have any idea who she was. She looked at her with a blank face, and we were this isn't okay. I had to go to the work the next morning, and Mallory was planning on working from home that day. So I was staying home while she went to the emergency room, but Mallory was texting me and says as soon as she walked in, they looked at Tahlia and rushed her right in, and 12 nurses and doctors were with her. It took them, I believe, approximately 4 hours to get an IV in her because her veins were rolling that bad. And I don't know if you've ever been around, kids where you feel bad when they get, pricked with an IV, but I would have felt better if she would have just cried like a normal kid does. But it was even scarier because literally they would, try to find, they would try to find a vein and poke her, and she'd go, "Ow," and then she'd just pass out. It was that scary. Literally she was so out of it that she'd just go, "Ow," and then pass out. So I was really freaking out at that point. So this is the first picture I took, so that's one of the ones where she's has everything in her. And while they were waiting for the medicine to kick in, they had the cardiologist come and they ran an echo and an EKG. And when they looked at the results, it turned out that she had myocarditis, which is essentially the inflammation of the heart. I knew I had to be strong for us as a family and for Mallory because she was a wreck. But I genuinely did not think she wasn't going to make it through. And I didn't know how serious it was. And even when they kept coming back, the next, obviously when they discovered it was myocarditis, they moved her into ICU, and we were in ICU for, I think 9 days. And I think it was the second or third day, the doctor saying she's making a little bit of progress, but the doctors have to tell you the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. And he's with myocarditis, your heart can deteriorate worse, or it could stay the same, or it can improve. But when he was talking about, you know, if it deteriorates, we have to monitor it. He mentioned the fact that, like, you know, if it starts to decrease, we might have to, you know, bring her to, I think he said Rush. I know there's like one hospital around, because we were at our Advocate Christ Hospital, but there's one hospital around that specializes in basically heart transplant surgeries.
These with her on my lap. These are the first time I got to hold her since we were in the hospital.
Oh, wow. Has this experience changed you in any way?
Yeah, it's made me appreciate every moment that I have with her. And makes me like want to hug and kiss her every minute.
Mom, go home, Mommy.
We're going home.
Mom, go home, Mommy.
We're going.
As we were doing this documentary, we found out that Jason also had myocarditis. What was your reaction when you found out about that?
I was in shock. I mean, you see something that, you know, devastated a family, and, you know, we lost Jason, and it's like, you don't want to think that same thing could happen to your own daughter, and it's like, I couldn't even imagine if I would have lost, like, the two most important people ever from the same exact thing. So.
He thinks he's made a grave mistake, but I'll never forget you. I'll never forget you.
I'm one of the lucky ones that, like, didn't lose, you know, didn't lose her. Come here, baby.
Daddy, more kiki.
Ooh, can I have a bite? Thank you.
They're not.
Have a kiss?
They're not in there.
Have a kiss?
They're not in there,
There are
Daddy.
nuts in there. Can I have a kiss? Thank you. Of course, you give me one after you put food in your mouth.
Isn't that gold? No, gold is not reality. Real is what you lays on me.
I love you.
I love you.
Goodbye, my love.